4 years ago, a 26-year-old girl on TikTok walked into a hotel room with two strange men to give them the best night of their life. The next morning, she was found dead, with 12 used condoms littered all over the hotel room. This is the unfortunate story of Ugochukwu Nwori. On May 3, 2022, a young woman known to her vibrant TikTok community as Mirabelle stepped into the Hope Inn Hotel in Abakaliki, believing she was simply seizing an opportunity for a lucrative night of fun. Ugochukwu Nwori was 26 years old, full of life, and unaware that the neon lights of the club would be the last bit of color she would ever see. What began as a standard night out with friends quickly spiraled into a sequence of events that continues to baffle and haunt those who remember her. The evening started at a local club near the hotel, where Ugochukwu and her friends were enjoying the music and the atmosphere. As the night progressed, two men began to circle their group, looking for companionship. Their behavior was calculated, as they first approached Ugo's friend with a high-stakes offer. They promised her 100,000 naira if she would spend the night with them. But the friend's intuition flared. She found the men unsettling and their presence off, leading her to flatly decline. Persistence, however, led the strangers to the other end of the club, where Ugochukwu was standing apart from her peers. To her, they made a different offer, 50,000 naira. Perhaps unaware that her friend had been offered double that amount, or perhaps simply caught up in the momentum of the night, Ugochukwu accepted the deal instantly. She saw it as a straightforward transaction for her time, oblivious to the red flags that her friends were already starting to gather. As the group prepared to leave, Ugochukwu's friends made one final attempt to pull her away. They pointed out the men's strange accents and their generally suspicious demeanor. They even noticed the vehicle the men had arrived in, a car with a custom plate that featured no numbers or identification at all. Despite these warnings and the visible unease of her inner circle, Ugochukwu stood her ground, telling her friends to go on without her while she stayed behind to work. The party eventually faded into the early hours of the morning, and witnesses saw Ugochukwu walking into a hotel room, accompanied by the two men. It was a mundane sight in a nightlife setting, yet it served as the final curtain call for her life. Behind that closed door, the time of her life she had anticipated transformed into a brutal struggle that no one nearby seemed to hear. When the police arrived the following morning, the scene inside the room was nothing short of a nightmare. Ugochukwu's body was discovered lifeless. Her hands and feet were bound with ropes, and she had been both physically assaulted and strangled. The room was a mess of evidence, but the most chilling detail was the discovery of 12 used condoms littered across the floor, a number that stood in stark contrast to the reports of only two men entering the room. This discrepancy remains the most haunting mystery of the case. While every witness statement and the friends' accounts insisted there were only two men involved from the start, the physical evidence suggested a much larger, more coordinated horror. It implied that either more people had entered the room undetected, or that the two men had subjected her to an ordeal far beyond what anyone could have imagined. Years have since passed, and the trail has gone cold. With no CCTV footage from the hotel, and no leads on the men in the unidentified car, no arrests have ever been made in the death of the girl who was just looking to enjoy her night. Ugochukwu's story remains a somber reminder of how quickly a life can be extinguished when the shadows of the night hide those who mean to do harm.